Fuck me. What the fuck is up? Welcome to the re-listening party, the latest re-listening party. This is the last. I'm so sorry. Apologies about being late. This is the last time I go live at 7. This 7 shit is not happening after this weekend. We have technical difficulties. We lost some equipment, but guess what? We're here. Happy motherfucking Friday night. There's gonna be a lot of motherfucks in this. Gabby, if you're watching, maybe send D a text to say like hop in here. There, perfect. D's in here. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, welcome to the re-listening party. My name is Matt Cruz. I'm your host today. That doesn't matter. Today, we're celebrating a good friend of mine, a brother of mine, Darien Fields, musician. Fucking, I don't even have the word. I'm so flustered right now. We're just gonna get right into it because I've kept this man waiting. I can't keep him waiting for much longer. Darien's in here. Rachel's in here. Rachel's one of your biggest fans, Darien. To keep it 100 with you. Boom. Let's go. God damn. Let's make it happen. Hot damn. It's hot as hell. I'm coming to you from Riverside, California. We're calling Darien Fields right now. This is the re-listening party. Welcome.
Yo.
Oh, D, what's going on, man?
What's good, dude? Sorry, I gotta put my phone like this so I can charge it. Can I go sideways? Is that cool?
Yo, bro, I kept you waiting. It is what it is. What am I gonna be particular? Dude, thank you so much for coming on.
No worries. Man.
I really appreciate it, bro. It's good to talk to you, for real.
Thanks for having me, man. Yeah, it's good to see you, I guess, virtually.
I know. Yo, man, you know what? Without further ado, I poured up my tequila in honor of a particular song. Yes, I love it. Hero the Champ is in here. Ladies and gentlemen, let's just get to it. This is Happy to Be Here. D, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, bro. Let's make it happen. Oh, how anticlimactic. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the re-listening party. We're celebrating Happy to Be Here. We're talking to Darien Fields. Cheers. Happy Friday. If you're in the comments, let me know how it sounds for Bo, Hito, or Gabby, or Rach. Let's make it happen. God put me on earth to tell you that everything is alright. And we all good. We all good. The question if we don't like. But he's all might, so I'm all like, I'm finna change what I can, cause I believe so it doesn't. Kicking rocks on this earth. You damn straight up at work. But ain't nothing still in my joy, boys. I'm damn straight on my words. And I stand straight on my own too. Be the me that I'm supposed to. We don't have bad days. I thought I already told you. Oh, okay. Gab says it's a little fuzzy. All right, for sure. Appreciate it, Gabs. I'm gonna work on it. The song is called "He's Coming Back." This is the beginning of the album.
Yes.
Now, if you can see the sun coming in right now from behind you, this is the feeling that I had when I first heard this song.
Yeah.
Was this the first song in the process? I know we'll talk. I want to kind of give people an insight into your process as well. But was this the first song in the process?
This was the first, yeah, like that first verse, basically all the way up to where you just stopped, was the first thing I wrote for the album.
Wow.
And I wrote it before I even dropped Everything's Alright.
Wow.
Sorry.
Sorry. Hold on. Say that one more time for the people, please.
I wrote that verse before I ever even dropped Everything Is Alright.
Wow.
So like,
wow.
I was already gearing up for like my sophomore, because I consider this like my second album. I feel like I put out a lot of EPs.
Okay.
I feel like this is like my like actual like second like album. And
wow.
So yeah, I remember like my friend Parker he always sends me super dope beats, and he sent me one that was called or he sampled like a bunch of like gospel things, and it was just like, it sounded real, like it sounded like that vibe. And so I wrote the verse to it, and then I ended up just remaking the whole production myself for like the title track here. But yeah. Okay.
Wow, that's big. For me, as a Darien Fields fan, that's big, bro. Wow, that's crazy news. K the Prophet, re-listening party alumni says, Mr. Happy to be here. Congrats on the release.
Thank you.
The album was key, brother. Yeah, of course. Man, you got mad love here, D. Let's keep it pushing. Let's get into a groove here.
Put me on earth to tell you that and every little thing you do matters, and question if it all does. So I get it all up to my forehead, like sitting right up my forehead, standing there with my paws up. I don't got time to be cautious. I used to think I could never. I used to think it was not in my blood. I used to think I was meant to be sad, like I wasn't worthy of love. But you know what I worthy of love? I guess I'm learning that's not me. I guess I'm learning God got me. And I got you. I'm young with the joy and I'm hot to get it up right now. Shooting all my shots in the cup right now. Yeah. Get it up right now. Got my song in the cup right now. Yeah. I'm in love right now. Never know I'm in love right now. Yeah. And everything is alright. Everything is alright. Everything is all good. Everything is alright. Everything is alright.
Woo! We're listening to He's Coming Back. Wow, okay. That makes a lot of sense to me now that this was before Everything's Alright. It definitely gives, if you're not in the know, Everything's Alright is one of these previous, I guess album?
Yeah, album, yeah.
Okay.
2018, I think. Yeah.
Wow, 2018. Okay. It definitely evokes the same feel. Before we dig too deep in that, Sydney Cruz on the vocals there.
Yeah.
The great sound. I love the sound. It definitely reminds me of how everything kind of encapsulates you at the end of Everything's Alright.
Yeah.
Just talk a little bit about, por favor, Sydney Cruz, working with Sydney Cruz, your first time. What's the deal there?
She's like just really good. Like she's an incredible like singer. And I think like the cool part about like when I work with her is I'll have just like a general idea of like what I'm looking for, but she brings a lot to the table as far as like throwing in like the extra harmonies and like she comes up with really cool ideas. And you'll probably, I don't know if we're going to go into them later, but like the other spots where she's on the album, like a lot of the things she does were like off top, like on her end. I was kind of just like press record and she just like did her thing, you know?
Yeah.
And so I think like, yeah, so that was, I wanted to make that moment in that song big and feel like it was yeah, because you know me, like I feel like I just continue to write the same, not the same story, but like a continuation of the same thing, like where I pick up where I left off.
Yes.
You know?
We're gonna talk about that very much in this.
So
yeah.
I think that's what that was meant to do. Is like I wanted to bring back like the choral, like vocal parts, like a choir, but I didn't want it to feel like I was trying to redo Everything's Alright again. So
you can't, yeah, because you're.
Yeah.
I feel it, man. Yeah, you're different than you were at that point. You can evoke it, but it can't be exactly the same.
Yeah. I didn't want it to be. Yeah.
On there, bro, when you say this is, let me say it for these people in case you haven't heard it yet. On there, you say, "I used to think I could never be happy. I used to think it was not in my blood. I used to think I was meant to be sad, like I wasn't worthy of love." Just tell me about the moment when you wrote that. Was it something you needed to hear? What was that realization like? Because man, that is, a lot of us struggle with that, bro. A lot of us feel like we're just not meant to be happy, or you put it off, like things like that. Just talk about, facing that.
I think that's talking about like the time in my life, like prior to like 2017, 2018. I feel like, I mean, you can hear it in my music. A lot of the stuff I wrote was very like kind of self-loathing or like, I don't know, just kind of along those lines. And I had sort of an epiphany, like, I don't think there's like a cookie cutter answer for everybody, but I found a version of daily happiness that works for me. And I just remember it wasn't a thing where I like flipped a switch and it was just like boom, like everything was fine, but it was like every day I was like making a conscious effort to at least get or feel like better. And I remember when you do it slowly like that, you don't really see the change because it's just like super small and like incremental. But I remember the moment when I stopped and I looked back, and I remember like it just felt so different. And I do remember when I used to feel that way, and now I don't. Like I don't really know how else to explain that part. Like
I appreciate it, man. No, it's something a lot. I just appreciate you saying that shit. That's something a lot of us have to face. And you said it so beautifully, man. Let's keep it fucking moving, D.
Put me on earth to tell you that everything is not and every door can be open, and every future is spoken.
Man. In case you didn't hear that, what D is saying is God put me on earth to tell you that everything is not broken.
Yeah.
Every door can be opened. Every future is spoken. D, this is so beautiful, bro. To keep it 100 with you, like I've told you about the drives out here in Riverside, but this is what it looks like a lot of times. So like it's that feel, bro. Yeah, the first time I heard this, I was driving around, and just the feeling that this song gives you, and the reassurance that I needed at that moment, that a lot of people need right now too, bro. This is really comforting, beautiful shit. Just talk about, I mean, wanting to relay that. What's speaking to you, and that is, are you talking to when you're writing this? Are you talking to yourself? Are you talking to who are you writing this for when you're writing?
I think I'm writing it like to myself partially, but I think it's like, I think that's what I've decided. Like I want like my general message to be like, I think when you say everything is not broken, that doesn't mean that like everything's perfect. And that's why I like saying everything's all right, because that's not saying like everything's perfect.
Yeah.
All right isn't like perfection, you know? It's just like,
no.
It's all right. Like,
yeah.
You know? And so I think like, I think somewhere along the line, I sort of decided that was going to be like my central like message. Like if I'm going to leave anything like from my music, like I think I loved that saying. I remember when I wrote that, everything is not broken, because it's not like I said, it's not like this Band-Aid that like goes over everything and says like, you know, it's all healed or whatever, but saying everything is not broken is just like, it's hopeful. It's acknowledging that there's some stuff that's broken, but not everything.
And everything, hey, yeah, at the end of the day, man, everything's all right, bro. As long as you're here to say it,
yeah,
everything's all right. Let's finish the song up, bro. We have so much ground to get through.
Sorry. I'm so good, I always been there. Recognize it in my syntax. I'll be running laps around you rappers like it's gym class. I ain't hella fit, but I ain't coming cause I'm back. All of this talking is cheap. I'm gonna need at least a band in there for talking to me. I'm gonna need at least a girl me before I can start a family. I don't think y'all understand I'm popping stocks and compete. But the support in my city kinda weird. If you don't rap about drugs, they don't wanna hear. I ain't knocking on anyone to be clear. But what's so wrong with being happy to be here? I don't got time for negativity. I could reminisce about the people who I'm with me. All I see is where I'm finna be. I'm only 5'6", but there's a bigger me inside this bigger me. I'm such a walk, it's like another step. I'm bulletproof, I got a better vibe. Running back now, I've been in my bag now. Present in my purpose, I feel like I never left.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful. That ending, just the switch up, is fucking crazy. Yo, Gabs, if you're still watching this, if you happen to find your fucking tripod, shout out to people in here, by the way. K Sabrina Wheatley, I don't know who that is, but what
That's
up?
my mom, yo.
Yo, shout out to Darien's mom. You the man. I would do a whole listening party just with her talking about. I'm like, man, you made a great look. Look at Darien. You made this great child. Yo, guys, if you see this, if you see the tripod, please run it out, bro, because I got the phone. Man, we're doing some MacGyver shit. I got the phone shaking on the top of the dashboard here. I love the I love the end of this. You and I see Stockton very similarly. You and I see the video, the city very similarly. A couple years ago, bro, when we finally reconnected in person, we were just talking. And to be honest with you, like I was like I pulled the Dark Knight like the moment on Darien, where like all day I was kind of just like picking his brain and seeing how he was reacting to things. Like I was even playing devil's advocate, where like I was, you know, the scene in fucking Dark Knight where Gab says, "I don't know where it's gonna be." All right, whatever. Where he's like talking, he's like, "Oh yeah, who fucking needs?" Bruce Wayne's like, "Who needs Batman?" I was tossing you shit like that just to see how you'd react. And every time, D had a beautiful answer about the city rising as a whole. Just talk about the city a little bit, por favor. How do you feel about that? I know you got nervous about it, but no, when you said that shit, it needed to be said.
Yeah, I think that like, and I mean what I said too when I said that like I'm not knocking on anyone. Like it's not about that. But I think that like, I mean, hip hop itself isn't a place that like glorifies negativity. But I think it's just I'm just being like a person in my city who's been in the music scene for like a very long time. I've noticed that like a lot of the people that get support aren't pushing like a positive message. The people with the most support are not pushing like a positive message. And I think that like, and I hesitate to talk about that just because like music is a reflection of how you see the world. And I don't want to talk about how other people should be seeing the world. That's not what I want to say either. But
I'll say it for you. There's a lot of people who sound that way, who that's not how they see the world. That's how they see other people rapping and doing the music.
Yeah. Okay. You said it.
I'll say it for you.
Yeah. So like, I just wanted to. I don't know. I wanted to bring that up. That was something I've been wanting to say for a while, and I was glad that I found an avenue to say it, and it felt right in that song. And I didn't want it to be, like I said, it wasn't meant to be like under like any sort of like aggression or malice. Like I just, it was something that I have observed, and I'm not the biggest fan of. I don't see what's wrong with being happy to be here.
That's what I was gonna say. What's wrong with being happy to be here, G?
There's nothing wrong with that.
All right, man. Well, I'll get you off the hot spot. Let's keep it pushing. We're moving on. This is the next track on Happy to Be Here.
Also, real quick, hold
on. What's up?
Also, at the end of the song, when it's
like,
young astronaut, baby, like that's an actual like clip from, I think it's from a Snapchat from when we dropped Young Astronaut back in like 2017. And that was Kevin Chin, like Spec Rex, taught us at the party when we were dropping it here in the living room. He was popping champagne and he was like, young astronaut, baby.
That's a moment.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Wow. I thought it was our other friend who we're going to talk about here in a second. But wow, shout outs to Spec, Rex, Titus, Sana. We'll talk about him here in a second. Let's keep it motherfucking rolling, D.
Yeah. Everybody look at me. I gotta say something. This is dedicated to the women that don't pay to the ones that's walking outside and think they got fun and pretending like they want to. Can't believe I got to end that well. Maybe there was a friend now. Maybe just trying to flex how well. And maybe I don't want to attack them down. Oh, baby, that's what I bet you in the heart. Sure, you sit my shaggy in me next to the bar. I don't flex from my arms, my blessings speak, but I still don't want to object at that part. Unless she thinks in good health, I hope you happy for real. I hope the content's is free. And I'm so glad the man is standing up there with you and me.
Woo! Congratulations! Catnip on the beginning. So what we're going to talk about, like we talked about, you telling a story. I love your story so much. I love the universe that you've crafted musically. And for the people who don't know, can you give a brief backstory on Catnip? Yeah, man.
DJ Catnip is my very good friend Jack Dwyer that I met in college, and he's always been like mad supportive of like my music and everything. And I just remember like him and I like make music. He makes music under the name Catnip and the Renegade, and it's like the dopest, funny, but like still,
why am I so effing hot,
dude? So he makes this like almost like a parody of like 80s hair metal, but it's dope, and it's like kind of funny. It's funny, but it's also like good music. And so him and I were like working on that, and so we were just like BSing and like being funny and going back and forth. And I just remember I was like, dude, like when I was making Everything's Alright, I was like, you know what would be really funny is if you just talked on a bunch of songs, just said a bunch of the funny things that you say all the time. And so I sent him the track list for Everything's Alright, and he came up with like a few things like to say, and then I had him over and he just said them all. And it's just been like, I don't know, he's so funny that I think it's become like a staple in my music that like Catnip has to have some ad libs.
100%. You and I talked about it. I think it's on Solid Colors.
Yeah.
When he comes in, bro, it was after a stretch of. I mean, we're getting into your discography here, but you know, it was after Penny, right? It was like right after Penny.
It was like after, and it was after like some like rose-colored glasses and like,
and Penny,
and some like really sad stuff, and like,
So my bad. I'm so sorry. Go ahead, please.
Well, no, and it was just like his whole like, I guess like, I don't know what his role is in like that universe, but he's there when Darien's winning, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like when he's
he's like the remember in The Water Boy?
Yeah.
He's like he's both of the guys in the stands, bro.
Yes, exactly.
In the best way possible.
Yes, exactly. So like when he shows up at the end of Solid Colors, it's almost like meant to be this like, all right, we're done with this like sad boy stuff. Like, let's get back to like, you know.
No, and it reassured, as a fan of yours, like it reassured me. It was like, we're back, baby. Like we're fucking back.
We're so back.
Here. Rachel says Heart Penny. She loves Penny. Yeah, bro, that shit's so beautiful.
I love Penny too.
Oh yeah, that shit's gorgeous. We gotta keep it pushing though. Yo, D, did this sound a little bit better when I didn't have it sitting on the fucking stand there?
It did sound a little bit better, yeah.
All right, well then we're gonna keep it pushing, bro. I'm gonna hold it, and hopefully, my prayers bring a tripod at some point. All right, man, let's keep it moving. We got so much ground to cover.
Just dedicated to the girls that got me jaded and the women that don't play with how you home. To the ones that's walking outside and how they fake out smiles and pretending like they wanna play the part. Congratulations, congratulations. You always wanted to be more than you made it. Congratulations, congratulations. You always wanted to be more than you are.
Whoa, D, that's fucking so crazy. No, man, you know what? You talk your shit, bro. You deserve to talk your motherfucking shit. I love.
Man, okay, yeah. I'm glad like we're talking about this one too because like I think it could be misconstrued. I think like I know a lot of people like my age, or even like I don't know, that just are doing things. Not even like that are just doing things because it's what you're like supposed to do, not because
talk that talk, dude.
You know, like it could be like job wise or it could be like anything. But I know a handful of people who have like gotten married like super young just because they felt like it was what they're supposed to do, and like they're not even like they didn't even really want to. They don't even really like their significant other like that. But then these are the boxes we're supposed to check, you know. And so I thought it was like just as like a statement for like my generation, like it just I don't know. It was more so about that chorus was, yeah.
I feel it, bro. No, I love it. I think it's beautiful. And to keep it real, I love your approach on it. Like, and this is like probably the closest we'll ever get to you saying like bitches ain't shit. Like Darren's not gonna come on here being like, yo, bitches ain't shit. Right. This is the closest we're ever get. This is the closest we're gonna get.
Yeah.
Shout outs to RJ. RJ's in the building. Nito King's in the building. I love this so much, bro. It definitely feels like the reverse to me of like French press. It feels like on the tail end of like, it's definitely a bookend for that. And dude, I just love your take on it so much because like I'd be sad as a motherfucker on that type of subject. You know, I wouldn't be able to make this kind of like.
Well, and that's what I wanted to do too. Was like I had heard a Lil Dicky song that's about going to his ex's wedding. Yeah, exactly. And like this is like really sad. And I was like, what if I made one that was like, you go to the wedding and you just have like the best time ever. Like,
wow. So. Wow. Yo, congratulations on it. Let's finish. Congratulations, bro. I'm down. Woo! Okay, musically that's fucking nuts, bro. This is some of the best shit you've ever made musically, 100%. The bounce is crazy. More Sidney Cruz on the vocals, and then on the trumpet, I'm not familiar with the cat on the trumpet. So let these people know, por favor.
Dude, honestly, I don't even really know him like that. It's some guy,
okay.
Some dude I met on Fiverr, and I sent him the music.
Really?
And he just sent me the files back like super quick, and I was just like,
wow.
Yeah, it was. So I don't even really know him like that, but he was dope. And he nailed it. He did the ones on Job for You also.
Yeah. Crushed it, bro. Wow, what a come up, because that's so beautiful.
Yeah, it was tight. All
right, let's keep it moving then, dude. Next song, we're gonna keep it moving. Yeah, I took a year off. I wouldn't ask me about it. I took a year off. A year off. Talk our motherfucking ear off, D. What's the impetus for this song? Por favor, let the people know. Where did this idea come from?
So I didn't take a year off of like making music because that's just not true. But like, but I think it was more so like I think all of last year, like 2019, was about, for me, like crafting my skills as like a producer, a mastering engineer. And like, so that's why I released so many EPs like last year, because I was like trying out all of these different styles. And like, you know, like if you really like listen to the EPs, like there's like the lo-fi hip hop one, and then there's like Penny, which is like a pop album, and then there's like I was working on all the transitions. Like if you listen from song to song, like I was working on how to get that good. And like Careless was like synth, like pop, like future bass type stuff. And so I was really just trying to get better at all these different things. So I wasn't really like focused on like my central message. I was like working on like production. And so I think it was like taking a year off from working on this album is what that means. And so it was like me just trying to hone all my skills like from those things, so that when I did make this album, I had it down. And when I needed to throw some like crazy synthesizers, I knew how to make them. And when I wanted to work on a smooth transition from song to song, I'd already worked on that so much that I knew how to do that. And so it was more so about that than like taking
a literal
year off from music, because I don't think I've done that since I was 16.
Woo! No, I love it so much, bro. Yeah, you're very Tarantino in that sense. Yeah, I definitely felt that about you last year. You were definitely sharpening a lot of different tools. You're learning a lot of different holds, as they say in wrestling, bro. You brought it together. Let's keep it moving.
They said they booked me so far in Sacramento. I'm like $10. I got so much time. You only got the bento. But I got so blind. I ain't been in the friend zone since like 2015. I'm booking DJ Kendo for my next album release. Cause I got caught in the streets, but that won't pay for the bill. A lot of these rappers, managers probably pay for a bill. But not me. I got receipts on my paper is real. I don't rap about cars, but I'm taking it real.
Woo! Talking that shit there, yeah, love it. Shouts to DJ Kenzo. Yeah. I don't know DJ Kenzo, but his name is on a lot of official people's pages. So mad respect to him.
Very dope. Yeah.
You know, okay. So how do you know Kenzo?
I've only met him once in person, and it was at a show that Steve Spiff was doing. Like I just went up and sang like a hook for a song that I did or something on like with it. And then afterwards, like Kenzo just came up to me and like introduced himself, and I was just like, he was just a cool guy. He was super chill. I didn't even know who he was, and then when I looked him up afterwards, I was like, oh, this guy's like the guy.
Yeah. I love that about. We're gonna talk a lot about that shit though, bro. But you just show love, D. Like that's one thing that like that is not mirrored. Even now, even as we're getting better with that in Stockton and the Valley in general, like you're one. You're to me, you're one of the best people at that. Just showing that love, bro. I love what so year off is inspired by you kind of taking a year off from the album, then is what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right, D, let's keep it moving, bro. We have so much to get through.
So I took a year off from listening to anybody but my dog. Spending minutes inside, had me a good job. And every day a fantasy like it's a mirage. I sketch a bit out and put up with a lot of shows. Been making beats and doing beats, I got a lot to do. Do all my shopping at Ross, don't got no product clothes. But I got two little brothers and I'm so proud of all.
Man, I took a year off from listening to anybody but my real dogs. Yo. That's real. I love that shit so much. To me, that's been one of the best byproducts of this show so far. Kind of just like cleansing my palate of a lot of pop. I mean, I obviously I heard the new Drake. Everybody heard the new Drake. But on the real, I just spend a lot of time listening to like cats that that I know. To maybe just talk about a little bit about that, about being inspired by your peers, being inspired by people that you came up with.
Dude, I listen almost exclusively to like my music and my homies' music. Like that's why we make it, because it's like if it was already out there, we'd be listening to somebody else do it, like
exactly.
So yeah, like I don't know, I'm surrounded by a lot of people who make really dope music, and I genuinely am a fan of their music. Like even if I didn't know them, like I'd like the music. So I think like that's pretty much the extent of that. Is like I think for a very long time now, 90% of what I listen to is like either my music or my friend's music.
Man, that's real. I love that so much. I mean, on a kind of a side note, you and I don't really talk about that much. I'm the big brother. If you've been seeing the re-listening party here, you'll probably be watching this later. you know, she hosted on me. We don't talk about your brothers, bro. We talk a lot about music mostly when we're talking about what's the role for you like as a brother. What's that situation like, and why, you know, how do you feel when you're speaking on it?
I love my little brothers. I always say when I grow up, I want to be as cool as my little brothers.
Damn, that's real.
And yeah, no, I just I think they're dope, and much like the rest of my like family and like extended family, which I would like include as like my friends or whatever. Like, I wanna make them like proud, and like I think that's all I, you know. It's not like that's pretty much like that. Like I don't know, they're so much cooler than me, man.
I know that feeling exactly, bro. Let's keep it moving. Well, the next song, Job for You.
Ooh.
Talking to Darien Fields. This is the re-listening party. Holly Duran, shouts out. Jacob Grinley, shouts the fuck out. What up, yo?
It's red and relative blue. And there's nothing that I wouldn't do for you. I go to school for you. Get back in my vibe for you. Darling, I'm a listen and get around job for you. Yeah.
Woo! Job for You. This is probably my second favorite on the album.
Okay.
This feels, I mean, obviously, like we're gonna keep talking about, you know, you kind of revisit a lot of the same themes, and I love that about you. This feels like a reverse of Pay For You. This feels like you revisiting the idea of Pay For You.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. To me, it's just very cool to be able to grow with you, you know, as a musician, as a person, as a fan of your music. Just talk about why that's important, you know, how that's been for you, and why you kind of keep going back to the same themes.
Well, I think it's like I've been like my music is so honest that when it comes to like inspiration or like feeling the need to express something, like it always kind of comes back to like the same pockets of like at least like the space for the emotion or like subject matters, you know what I mean? And so I think part of being a millennial, like we have a weird view of like jobs and careers and so yeah, I just think like I think Pay For You is like the immature younger version of me that's like, nah, I want to be a rapper, like you can just pay for me. Like and then like
how old are you when you wrote Pay For You?
22.
Okay.
I think I was 21 or 22, and I'm 26 now.
Yeah. And
so like, yeah, this version is like a more mature, like, nah, like I like you enough that like I could get a job.
I just want to buy you things. I just want to show you off, girl.
Like it's just, and yeah, and it was like, it meant a lot. Like it was just like an idea that I had to do like kind of the opposite of like what I had talked about before, because I felt like I'd grown as a person, and it wasn't even necessarily that like I think, I mean, I don't know if this will come up later, but I write a lot, like just like conceptually, like it doesn't even have to be like about a specific situation or anything like that. Like usually it's inspired by something, but like, I don't know. I remember coming up with that idea, like thinking like, I think the mature take on this would be like, I can do this.
I love it so much, bro. Yeah, dude, we're gonna have to go 2 parts. I'm so sorry. We're only on track 4 here, bro.
I'm talking a lot.
I love it. Please, this is what we're here for, bro. Yeah. Let's keep it moving. This is a long motherfucking clip. Strap yourself in.
Hold on 1 second. Matt Cruz, Wheat Boy 30. That's my little brother.
Whoa! Wow! Shouts out to Wheat Boy 30. What's his real? I mean, now should we put his real name on blast?
No, his name's Weston.
Weston, what's up? I've never met you, bro. Shouts out. Bro, this is a long one. Strap yourself in. Get a drink, pack a bowl. This is a long clip. Let's go.
I'm bringing home this bacon. Teach your mama, Mr. Records, just to get my cake up. Terror candles, put up right out to Jamaica. Low and Bobby, double in Malaysia. Cause that's what we do, exactly the way that we practice it, boo. Gotta imagine it works, the travel with us is back to my voice. I made it real tight and ball ladies up just like I baby well, but I was saving stuff for me. Baby, I don't know where my head is lately. I'm just blue. But I'm more of you. We can exercise perspective. Always still have foreign views. Foreign cars are hella tight. No more into foreign foods. We get lost up in Croatian. You'll be digging up foreign dudes. Oh, K-A-D-I-S-A-N-A. Don't forget the N-A. You say no comprende. I'll agree with Ende. I'm in love with everything that's wrong with you. The dark time I am gonna get in love with you. And it's a blue. We know they are. And nothing, I do for you. I plan to school for you. Get my love for you. Yep. I'm a listen and you got for you. Get on top for you.
Oh my God, Job for You. In case you hopped on, we're talking to Darien Fields. We're talking about Happy to Be Here. The song is Job for You. Speaking of growing with somebody musically, you and Kevin, your relationship, your partnership, just talk a little bit about, por favor, how you met. Man, because this motherfucker bodied this. Apologies for language, but he bodied this.
He did, though. So, like, yeah, I met Kevin Chin. I met him when we were in college, and he was like the rapper dude, and I was still kind of like the singer-songwriter John Mayer like type of dude, you know. But we just like clicked like immediately because we both like loved music, and like we started like collaborating, and we would just like chill like in the dorms, and like I'd play guitar and he'd just like freestyle and like rap, and like we'd write these songs, and it was just like, I don't know, it was cool. Like the workflow was just so easy, and then he just became like one of my best friends. And then as I was like working on music more seriously, he was like really started to like take an interest in like helping me out. And for the last like, I don't know, like since I graduated like college, like he had been like mixing and mastering all of my stuff, like spending hours, like on Everything's All Right, he spent over 100 hours like mixing and mastering that.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Like, and really just like helping me out, and like in like ways that I couldn't have done it, like, or couldn't have released as much music as I did, or you know, done any of that without him. So he's been like a really like good friend, and then he's also been on like most of my projects. Like I always like try to like have, you know, at least one song with him, and yeah, that's like my favorite verse I think I've gotten from him was that song. Like I just remember he sent it back, and it was just so good, and he's been getting so much better like at his music too, because I'm a big fan of his also, and like every one of his albums is better than the last. And I remember like with this song, when he sent me like his vocals, I was just like, oh my gosh, like he really did me like that. Like
you bodied it.
I was like, he out-rapped me. Like he needed to. he needed to remind the people.
T-A-D-A-S-A-N-A. Yeah. Man, this motherfucker bodied it. Yo, on the rail, shouts to Rob. Rob's in here, by the way. He said, sorry I'm late. Of course, we wouldn't expect anything else from you, brother. Come on. Yeah, bro, I love it so much. I remember you telling me a long time ago, you're like, yo, Spec Rex, he's a fan of yours, bro. And I was like, yo, after Raw Milk, I was like, I'm probably Spec Rex's biggest fan, bro. I'm probably Tadasana's biggest fan.
Yeah.
You bodied this, bro. I love your guys' relationship so much. I love the songs that you do together. You really sound like you know, I was stoned last night. I was gonna do my notes. What I wrote was, you sound like you're branches from the same tree. Obviously, I have a good train right now.
That's I get it.
Your mom says my favorite Kev feature. Yo, it is. That's. I mean, he bodied it. Shouts to Tadasana.
I mean, I have no problem saying, like, I think everybody does it. Like, I make sure all my stuff is, like, pitch corrected and, like, all that. Like, just, you know, when I'm mixing and mastering. And, like, I didn't have to do anything to Kevin's vocals, like, pitch-wise. He was just like, but I'm in love with everything that's wrong with you. And it was just on. Like,
I love his tone so much. Yeah, he has. You worked on something special for me that I really appreciate. But yeah, when I heard I had like a girlfriend, the Ariana song feature. But like when I heard the synths, I was like, oh, this needs his voice on it. This needs his voice. I love his voice so much. I love you guys to work together, and I hope you guys continue to keep putting out hits like this, bro. I love them. I'm here for each one of them, D.
Yeah.
Let's keep it push.
It's all I could know. Yeah.
Man, they break right into sunlight. I love it so much. Damn, bro, this is real shit. The night that this, if people who are in here who are watching this later, the night that we made this, I drove down from San Jose. I drove to Stockton. I think you had a show.
Mm-hmm.
We hit your show. Your boy was drinking. We stopped it. It was a bus downtown. It was nothing downtown. We stopped to get the cheapest bottle of tequila, and we sat up all night drinking and just working on these melodies and all these music, bro. And that shit meant the world to me. To have this on here,
dude,
woo, man, it means so much to me. Talk about a little bit. I mean, you're very Kanye in the sense of you're not scared to collaborate. Talk a little bit about being open to that, por favor, and just your attitude towards it.
I think like before I ever even like started remaking the beat for He's Coming Back, I had those lyrics and I knew I wanted them there, but I didn't have anything like sonically for this album other than that. And I distinctly remember the morning when I made the beat for Sunlight, and I was like, I came up with this really cool chord progression that I really liked, and sort of this like general idea for like a melody. And I remember that night too when you came and hung out and I played the show and then we came back here and we're just chilling and I was like, can I show you something? And like I brought up the beat and we were just vibing. And I remember I brought out my phone because I wanted to record it so that we wouldn't forget. And I remember like re-listening to it again and I was just like, yo, this would make like a really cool like interlude type track. And so calling like the song's called Sunlight. And I just remember being like, it would be cool if this is like right before you start to see the sunlight, So I put like the birds chirping. And I wanted it to have like some really weird effect because I'd done like the Bit Crush to like weird EQ or whatever, but I wanted to do something different with this one. And so, it just kind of became that. And I was really happy with how it turned out. I think I sent it to you as soon as I made that. Yeah.
This is one of the first ones I got. And yo, bro, this shit means the world to me. To keep it 100. Like I've been in music since I've known you, since middle school. I've been doing music shit and I've been writing particularly since I was like 11, 13.
Yeah.
And in the past few years, like I've scribed a lot of things for people, like, but I don't expect no big up. I've written a lot of courses that you've heard that that I don't have credit on. I'll never have credit on, and I don't need it.
Yeah.
But for you to put that on there, bro, and to kind of share that, man, I can't tell you how much that meant for me.
That's cool.
And what you've done for me musically and what you've done for Stockton musically, I gotta big you up on that, bro, because you just have a mindset that's and an attitude that's different and that's really needed right now in the city.
Thank you. I appreciate that, man.
Of course. Let's keep it moving.
Right then, I just do it myself. I don't care about the past that I stood, but I felt
it feels like sun rays. It feels warm. This is the sunlight. So I'm glad you told me you remember making the beat. How long had you had the beat before we really started to craft the melody? Just talk about that part before.
I think I only had the beat like maybe for like a month before like that day that you were over and like we were working on it. Like it was so raw. But I remember I showed it to Kevin too. Like I was just the beat. I was like, this is where I think I want to go with the album. I remember being excited about it, even when it was nothing. Like there was nothing to be excited about because it was just a beat. Like, but I was like, I could hear it. Like I knew where.
You were 100% right, bro. Yeah, you stuck the feeling completely.
Yeah.
Keep it moving. Sunlight.
where do you go? What do you say? Tell you something. Where you sitting around?
Who you call? Man, this fuck. But I call Darien. I'll keep it 100 with y'all. This is the melody that sticks with me the most on the album, and it's crazy because it's on a song that I helped come up with I helped come up with the other melody, and this is the melody.
Yeah.
That sticks in my head, the one that you did, bro. You're just so talented. Talk about finding that melody, por favor. And just talk about what what it means to you when you're saying there. Like when the sun goes down, you're another day old. Just talk about all that.
I remember coming up with the melody before I came up with the lyrics, which is like, I don't know, sometimes like pretty rare for me. Like usually I want to craft like the words that I say before I try to figure out how I want to say them. But I just remember with this song in particular, I was just like, it feels so good to just have this da 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 da.
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, all right, I gotta fit whatever I want into there. And I just wanted to talk about like the sun, and I think like being in love with the sunlight is more so about like it's along the same message of like an attempt to like just love your life, you know, like if you're in love with the sunlight, like most people are awake when the sun's out, you know.
Yeah.
And so it's about that, like I think I say something like, yeah, like because I've been chasing the sun because I love being awake.
We're about to get into that, yeah.
So it's like it's more that's kind of what I was going for with that.
Okay. Let's just talk about it.
I'm jamming, I go slow, go with the myself, so thinking, go sports, these just goes like he goes to golf, and I'm Derek Scooter, like go gadget a day, like I'm Ferris Bueller, ain't no days off here, take no breaks off, yeah, I'm the perfect for chasing dreams, ain't no fake job here, got that faith in my team, I've been saying all year, we are next, forget that, we right now, me and Harrison fans, funny, Harrison fans, funny, tearing up fans, taking care of my fans, I hardly ever speak. Lately I've been chasing the sun because I love being awake. And I've been running their love. I think they're wanting this. So what do you say?
Lately I've been chasing the sun as I love being awake, and I've been running to love. I think they're one and the same. D, just talk about that, por favor. I don't know if it's because this really helps me like appreciate, every day, or I don't know if it's because I sleep until 1 or 2 o'clock and I just actually don't get enough sun or vitamin D in my life, but it strikes a chord with me regardless. Talk about that, por favor.
I think anyone who knows me remotely well will tell you I don't sleep a lot. Like I don't sleep a lot. Like I wake up like relatively early. Like sleeping in for me is like 9. Like I don't know. I think I like being awake because I like doing things and and existing. So
okay.
I don't think it's really even like deeper than that, or at least when I wrote it, it was just kind of like meant to be this just like genuine sentiment of like I like being awake when it's so I can like live,
All right. Well, I mean, just to put it, just to put it a little deeper for you, for a lot of cats who struggle with like depression or struggle with, especially in times like now, where like you wake up and it's like, why the fuck am I gonna wake up today? Like, why the fuck should I wake up today so I can sit here and not do anything? The sentiment that you're saying here means a lot to a lot of people who are hearing this, myself particular. So thank you, even if it feels a little like surfacey for you, it's resonating with people. Just to let you know that. JMR Ill says hi, Darien.
Oh yeah, that's my boy, Manny. What's good, Manny?
Hi, Manny. This fool has been quarantining his room for the last 3 years that I know of. I don't know if he's talking about me or you, but yeah, 100% workaholic for real. He's talking about you. Yeah, you were quarantined before the quarantine was working.
Dude, I didn't even know we were in a quarantine until just now.
Let's finish the song off here, bro. Man, that is so beautiful. If you're just popping on here, we're talking to Darren. We're talking about his album "Happy to Be Here." The song we just finished is "Sunlight." It's so fucking beautiful, man. To keep it 100, that's probably the most beautiful thing that I've been a part of. As far as like, you know, that's probably the most beautiful piece of music that I've been a part of. Jaylani's on the end. Demo Tapes is helping out on there. Alex Urbano. Talk a little bit about the help that you got on this Important for music.
Dude, Jaylani was like incredible, man. Like I remember I had this like idea, and I didn't want to use like synthetic strings or like the ones like, you know, like MIDI or whatever. I was like, I want this to have like a real raw feel. And so I wrote like a really simple like 2-part harmony thing, and I like sent it to him, and I was like, do you think you'd be able to help me out with this? And like he just came through and just knocked it out, and it was so crazy. Like he's so good. And so like it's the same like collaborative thing as like when I work with Sydney Cruz, is like he brought a lot to the table. He was like, well, what if I like, you know, what if we hit this note to accent this chord like on this? And it was just stuff that I had never even thought about, and it was really cool. And the fact that he like, you know, he was like a senior in college and like trying to finish up, and like, you know, it's like being in the conservatory at UOP is like a lot, like class wise and like hours wise. And so it was really cool that he took time out to come through and help me out with that. And like it sounded really like so much better than I thought it was, like than I thought it could. And and he nailed it. Yeah.
Dope, man. Yeah, shouts to Jaylani. I don't know him. He's out there doing it. Demo Tapes and Alex Urbano. Where did they come through in the process on that?
Alex Urbano was playing the bass on that song, and I remember I was helping Braxy record Braxy's album.
Shouts to Braxy.
I'm engineering and mixing and mastering a project for Braxy, and we were working on a song, and he was like, I want a live bass on this. I know somebody who like plays live bass. And so he invited his boy Alex, and I guess Alex and I had some mutual friends, and we were just like hanging out and talking. And after we finished Braxy stuff, Braxy was like, all right, I gotta go. And I was like, hey Alex, you got some time? And he was like, yeah, what's up? I was like, can I show you this song and see if you like have any ideas for like a bass? And he was like, yeah, sure. And I played him the beat, and he was like, oh yeah, I got you. And like, hand me the bass. And
damn, that's real.
Just threw it down, like just freestyled like a couple times. All I did was like chop up like certain parts. Like I think I want this part to be in the chorus and this part, like stuff like that. But that was all just like off top. He heard the song like once, and then like 5 minutes later just threw down the the bass.
That's crazy. No, I think this is probably top 10 of your songs to me. It's so beautiful. You killed it. You should be proud of that song. It's really, really beautiful. It's something to be proud of. Let's keep it pushing, bro, because we're already rounding out for part one. Let's go.
Honey, even touch me. Maybe it's best to me. I gotta go get to me. He's up looking get to see. Maybe it's best to me. Maybe it's best to me.
We're talking to Darien. The song is Pancakes. Man, it's so beautiful. Again, it's going right in from something beautiful, something almost equally as beautiful. It's a little more stripped down, but the feeling you get is very similar. Just talk about where this came in the process, bro. Pancakes, what was the story behind it?
Dude, Pancakes is like, so first of all, that piano is the only like sample like thing that I didn't like play.
Wow.
Like so that's the only thing that I didn't either like play or have somebody else play. And it came from like, I'm in this group with a bunch of really close friends of mine, like Shoestack, who's John F. Hennessy, Tokay, Peter Parker. I'm in this like Facebook group with them where we like send out a sample every week, and then like everybody has an hour to flip the sample and like make a song from it or whatever. And I just remember one week Tokay sent out that piano sample, and I heard it, and I was just like, ooh, I gotta make a whole song out of this. And so I just made it like right there, and I made it in an hour. Like those vocals, those drums, pretty much the mix too was like what I made within that hour when I was doing it. And I sent it in, and everybody in the group was like, yo, this is dope. You got to release this as a real song. Like,
yeah.
And I was like, all right, cool.
That's crazy. That combination of that little collective of producers, those are 3 white boys who will tear any producer out right now up. I'm telling you, they're 3 of the best kept secrets. Darien, Demo Tapes, and fucking John F. Hennessy, bro. Crazy.
Yeah, they're incredible.
Yeah, I love it. Let's finish out Pancakes, bro.
Cool.
I hope you found me a good song, but you can't put it in city. I'm looking hard, don't change much. Anything that I hope it ain't true. I hope you found what you're looking for. And I hope it was just you.
If you're just popping on, we're talking to Darien Fields. We're talking about Happy to Be Here. The song was Pancakes. Man, it's just so beautiful. Do you have anything to touch on before we move on to Pancakes? I didn't want to delve too deep. There's a couple that I was like, that we're going to talk about, but I was like, I'm going to respect my brother's, privacy on a couple things.
Yeah.
I have to talk specific, but just the feeling, maybe, if you could talk to us about that.
I think it's like, I think the only other thing I want to say about Pancakes is like, it was one of those things, like sometimes like songs, like I told you, I did it the whole thing in like an hour. Sometimes things just like click. And then sometimes things are like, he's coming back, where I like write the lyrics and then 2 years later I come up with like the rest of the, like what, like lyrics and production and everything. So like, I think it's cool sometimes when you really strike lightning like that. And then the other thing I want to say is a lot of my songs, if you notice, a lot of my albums have like, I talk about like, or I name songs after like food or like like things like that. So I think that's I don't do that on purpose, but I notice it after the fact. I'm just like, oh yeah, that's cool. Like the song.
I just assumed it's like you building this massive breakfast thing. I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
You got French press, you got pancakes.
Exactly, like French press and like
I think it's phenomenal.
And like
let's see. You know what? Let's do you know what? We got to cut it here and come back with part 2 if you're okay with that, bro.
Cool with me, man. Yeah.
All right. To be honest, a lot of people are gonna catch this afterwards. I'm fine with that, bro. This is for me and you right now. We're drinking. We're having a good time. We're going over Happy to Be Here. We're talking to Darien Fields. We're gonna take a quick 5, and we're gonna come back with the second half. Happy to Be Here. Please come back in a minute, Darien. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you in a second.
Yeah. No worries, man.
Gracias.
Mm-hmm.